Hey tankers, and welcome to World of Tanks with PR154. We're here on Abbey, where we have joined Vitalbyt of the Renegades clan in his Tier 9 French medium tank, the AMX 31ER. He's in a Tier 9 tank in a 8 to 10 matchup, so he's not the lowest placed, but not the highest placed as far as tier and fighting capability are concerned. The AMX 31ER, I admittedly I don't know all that much about it. I had to actually do a little bit of digging, but essentially this tank is all about the damage per minute. Properly equipped, you can be getting 3400 DPM with this vehicle. Its straight line grunt is also not too bad either, although its traverse speed does seem to struggle a little bit. But with the 105mm main gun, you're loosing sort of shots of 390 average alpha. The penetration is also not too bad at all, with 248mm of standard penetration, and you can jack that all the way up to 300mm of penetration with the heat round. Of course, that assumes that you hit the target. The aim time at 2.2 seconds is not great, and at 0.35 dispersion, it's pretty good, but it's nowhere near the sort of territory that you might expect with say a Leopard PTA. Or something like that. As far as armor goes, it doesn't have the strongest armor profile. Some very obvious weak spots with with the cupola, but the upper frontal plate's a little bit bouncy. The gun mantlet's also quite bouncy. But if you're in a position where you're taking fire, I'd sort of question whether you're playing the tank correctly. So you can see here that Vital's just he is trying to position to avoid the abuse as much as he can, but particularly sort of avoiding taking crossfire. If I can grab my cursor from this area in here, but the gun depression is quite usable, and he's able to get the drop on the RU251 below him. Still suffering in that shot trade against the CS59. Fortunately, there was an Object 252U that wasn't quite paying attention to the hill, and he was able to get the drop on him there as well. Really thinning out the enemy numbers now. They seem to have the advantage both in terms of guns and hit points. If you ever do an 8-line push, you do have to be super careful of enemy tanks that have taken the Abbey, because there's just so many lines of fire that can just mess you up, unless you're sort of hiding immediately below the cliff, immediately fronting this little step here, that you can just cop some abuse from. So if someone's taken the top, you just need to be super careful about it. And if at all humanly possible, try to get some shells back in their general direction and knock them off. Otherwise, that sort of happens, and you end up with the entire 8 line then being pushable by the enemy team. As we can see, Vital is just making really good use of this position. Having controlled it, he can put fire into this area, he can put fire into the top of the hill over here. So the fact that so his team really are succeeding on all fronts. They've taken the 1 line, they've succeeded on the 8 line thanks to his fire support, and now he's just able to position in the mid and plunge fire on the enemy with absolute impunity. So they are now 7 guns up, 6 guns up, and have a significant advantage in the hit points. So we can afford to move in and head into the cleanup phase. We can see Kung Fu Wombat, his platoon mate in the WZ 1114, already It's already sort of moved into position around the cap, and that leaves 4 enemy tanks left along the 8 line. It would appear that his teammates on the 8 line have not been able to quite press the advantage on this occasion. I expect that's down to these tank destroyers still maintaining presence and line of fire in that direction. But we can see Vitalbyt's been able to hook in and make use of the damage per minute of this vehicle. Bit of a lucky bounce off the front of the tank. I mean, again, and I'll wrestle the control back here. That's a real weak spot, but your gun mantlet's quite strong. The sharp edges and the sloping of the turret. You can bounce a few shots, but obviously you can't rely on it. And that CS59 finds Vitalbyt in the end. But that's all right. That's all right. Vitalbyt has teammates, and those teammates are able to send the CS59 back to the garage, the final enemy that was in the way of his team. Let's have a look at his results. So a well-deserved 8 mastery for Vitalbyt in the AMX 31ER prototype. He's come away with 2 epic battles as well between high caliber, where the damage you've caused must be accounting for at least 20% of the total enemy hit point pool, and the tanker sniper medal, where you fire at least 8 shots, you have at least an 85% hit rate, and you're causing the highest damage per battle on the team from distances exceeding 300 meters. So that's not too bad at all when your base dispersion on that is 0.35, which again it's nowhere near as good as the Leopard PTA, which is also at that tier, but yeah, that's still usable. We've also got the Duelist medal, where he's destroyed at least 2 enemy vehicles that have caused damage to him at some point in the battle, and of course the Fire for Effect medal, where you cause more damage to enemy vehicles than the hit points of your vehicle. And when you've got, what are our base hit points here, 1650, and he's caused over 6,000 damage in the AMX 31ER prototype on this particular occasion. Having a look at the team scores, well-deserved top placement by XP for Vitalbyt, and he's also joined at the top by Blackheart's Reaver and his platoon mate, also from the Renegades clan, Kung Fu Wombat, in the WZ-111 Model 4. On the enemy team, the CS59 had a very good game there, and he was a constant thorn in Vitalbyt's side as they were sort of both vying for those upper positions. But unfortunately for the CS59, wasn't able to clear Vitalbyt off that very important position. Sergeant Dyson in the IS-32 and Ilurke in the Stridsvan S1 also placed quite well on the enemy team. I'm not quite sure this credit report's quite accurate, though. He's telling us he's received 54,000 credits. He's had a 15,000 credit repair bill, had quite a heavy ammunition bill, and that's probably down to even the standard APCR shells are going to set you back 1,200 silver a pop, and he actually fired about 20 rounds. Well, there he is. He did fire 20 rounds that game, but strangely the total's still at 50,000. But you would kind of expect him to actually make quite a few credits on a game like that, where he's not fired a lot of pramo and he's caused more than 6,000 damage. So not quite sure what's up with the credit report there, but I guess that it's one of the funky things about replays sometimes, that sometimes not all the correct information seems to make it onto the upload site. But if you'd like to see one of your replays featured on World of Tanks PR154, please reach out over Discord or one of the links below, and we'll do our best to get you on the channel. In the meantime, take care out there.